Recording in progress.
What it do, what it do, what it do. It is your boy, Andrew. No, aka Mr. Goody Two Shoes. And who am I with? Joseph Huggins, aka Old Man Huggie. Pop shit or get off the pod. Episode 76. Text me, Zaddy. Welcome, motherfucker.
Zaddy, send me a text, Zaddy. That was just a good name. I was like, what can I call this episode? Text me, Zaddy. Text me.
The Biden administration texted Vladdy the Zaddy.
That's your boy.
As they rolled into Kyiv today.
Yeah, that's what they said. I mean, that's pretty. Hey, we're pulling up.
We're pulling up. Don't fuck around.
Heard your block's hot. I'm coming by to cool it down. Underrated song. I think that people don't remember how
the
good.
block is hot?
Yeah, how good No Tattoo Lil Wayne actually was.
What are you talking about? He's like back on tour right now, just like crushing.
Well, yeah, but that's all of his stuff. I like a big long hair, red bone. I'm talking about The Block is Hot.
Block is hot.
Oh, there go them fucking popos. And if you know, like I know, you gotta get off the counter. Like, and now he's like, I love cops. And I'm like, what? Get out of here.
Well, there was that cop that like he
saved his life. Yeah.
Yeah. He accidentally shot himself when he was like 6.
Well, okay, but then you can't say. Yeah, I don't know. It's all very confusing. I think maybe while all of his homies, like, was he happy when BG went to prison? Maybe he's
no, but at the same time, like he's got like a picture where he's like hanging out with Donald Trump, like while he was president. So he's problematic.
I think he's just like an enigma. He just kind of does whatever the fuck he wants. He's done so many drugs and has had like so many drug-induced seizures and all sorts of wild shit that he's just kind of like I do what I want. I was
literally picking up a keyboard for my producer out in like LA the day that, and then I get hit up that Lil Wayne was dead. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like I was like so upset. And then it was like when he had the seizure in the plane and they had to land the plane.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he didn't die, obviously. But I literally, because he was like bar none my favorite rapper at that point, and I was just like, God damn, this is terrible.
Well, I mean, who else?
But he didn't die.
Rick Ross has had a lot of seizures. I don't know if it's drug related, but
yeah. Well, he didn't die, and we got the keyboard, and it was like 50 keys on it, and we made some smash hits.
So that's a big dub. It's a dub.
It all worked out.
It's a dubski for the boys there, guys. It's a good dub for us. So appreciate you. Top notch, guys. Top notch. Good job. But yeah, 76. Text me, Zaddy.
Who's the Zaddy?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I just wanted to throw a Zaddy in there. It's fun to say sometimes. So that people at work, I'm like, all right, let's get to work. Zaddy needs the money.
You do not say that.
And
people, about to get caught up in a fucking harassment lawsuit.
No, that makes people laugh.
He makes us call him Zaddy. He makes him.
No, I call myself that, or I'll be like, uh-oh. So whenever you see some, couple where you're like, all right, that's either like your grandpa or like your sugar daddy.
Or like Mitt Romney.
Yeah, or Mitt Romney. He's just everywhere. What are you doing here? Mitt, get the fuck out of here. What are you doing in my room? Get out of my room, Mitt Romney.
He was talking hella shit to George Santos on the floor, like during the State of the Union, right before the State of the Union. He goes, and I watched it. I saw it live, but like they like pulled up the audio, and he's like, you should be embarrassed with yourself, son, to George Santos. And he goes, and he doesn't know how to cuss apparently, so he just goes, ass.
Yeah.
You're an ass.
Butt cheek. You're like, what? Get out of here. What the fuck did you just say to me? No, but see, I'm saying this again, people seem to forget. Mitt Romney was like a vessel for like crazy bullshit back in the day. Mitt Romney is a crazy Mormon.
crazy Mormon.
He's been playing
His dad had multiple wives in Mexico. Um,
He's been playing
and
spades with like Orrin Hatch for the better part of 50 years.
right.
Orrin Hatch is like, everybody in this room's cycle is synced up and you need to calm down. Everyone's like, what the fuck did you just say? He just recently, he was the longest sitting member of any government position for a long ass time until he recently just didn't run for re-election. But I mean, they're from the same neck of the woods. Those, yeah. Multiple wives in Mexico.
He had a binder full of women, and he strapped his dog on top of the car when they like drove 8 hours like to go on vacation. And
wait, Mitt Romney did or his dad did?
Mitt Romney did.
Oh, and that's weird. It was in a kennel?
Nah, I don't know, but it was on top of the car in like the wintertime. And
that's weird. That's not okay.
And then also he was the head of Bain Capital when they tried to buy out GameStop and then sell all the property and just bankrupt it so he could take all the money. So all you apes out there, Mitt Romney was coming for you.
Yeah, Mitt Romney, but I think that Mitt Romney's just mad that he's like old and he hates all these young people, these young like Republicans or these like crazy extremists. Because he's like, at least I had some kind of integrity. Like while he was like definitely a vessel for some of the same agenda. I mean, you could say that whenever they were like, all right, Roe v. Wade's overturned, he was like, yes, underneath the table. Like he's like, now they can all wear their magical underwear again and shut up. Like, I mean, I don't know.
I actually think that like he learned a lot of lessons like going through that campaign, like where he probably is a little bit less Mormon than we think now, but also the one thing that I'll have to give him props about in that campaign with versus Barack Obama 2012, he said that Russia was our biggest geopolitical threat as the United States, and everybody laughed his ass out of the room, and now look at us.
Well, I mean, but there's a lot of that ilk of Republicans who would have said that.
They would have.
Yeah,
not
like
anymore.
no,
not anymore.
Well, because they're either not in office or they're no longer with us.
No, they've got like the Putin caucus now. Like, you
well,
know.
Yeah, but I mean, but you got what I'm saying is like even in that period of time, like Mitt Romney is to me was more of a senior leader in politics. I mean, I guess outside like, than Lindsey Graham. Like I think people listen to Mitt Romney more than they would listen to Lindsey Graham. But now that
I don't know, but no, because Lindsey Graham was like butt boys with McCain and everybody, and McCain was actually like in the Senate.
Yeah, but McCain would have said Russia's one of our biggest threats. That's what I'm saying is McCain would have said something like that.
McCain would have said, and I quote, "Bomb, bomb, bomb, bomb Iran," like as in like Barbaran by the Beach Boys. He's
yeah, but I mean, I'm saying if he was still, I think he learned some lessons from our handling of the Middle East as well. I think that he's definitely learned some lessons from that. Because I mean, McCain definitely had some sort of moral integrity when it came to his politics. Like he was like a genuinely good dude who fought for this country, was a POW, was like permanently disfigured, and then ran for office. And it could have been like, I mean, if he would have been president, I wouldn't have. Not like we were voting then, but no, I guess no, we were that one time. The first time,
that was literally the first time I ever.
But I mean, when we were younger, because I remember seeing him a lot, and whenever we were younger, constantly. I remember when he had some sort of hair color, and I remember it slowly going white.
No, I know we've just really lost, like that class of Republicans, where it was like Bill Maher said this because he donated $1 million to Obama's campaign when he was going against Romney. And then when it was Trump, like, he goes, I would give $1 million to Romney right now to run against Trump. Like, like that's how much, like how crazy the right's gone.
Well, yeah. I mean, some of these bad actors. So to bring it all back, whatever George Santos and him cross at paths, that's like two different ships in the night. Like that's like Mitt Romney's like a ghost ship of like old Republican values and like civil discourse and having discussions and trying to be some bipartisan on some things. Not everything's like absolutely not. And that's why he
voted to impeach Trump. He voted for like the impeachment of Trump both times.
Oh yeah. So, yeah, yeah. So I'm not surprised.
That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
It was the different times, man. The before times.
the before times. I remember before times. Whenever if they said they wanted to take away a woman's rights, they weren't like belittling them in public when they did it. They pretended to still like them. I remember those days.
Yeah, we used to have exactly.
Right.
We used to have some sort of shame where we would just like at least lie about now it's just like
I remember when Lindsey Graham used to pretend and still take women out for drinks. Like, you got to think all these different things. That was like a completely different time. Everyone was different except for Mitch McConnell. He was still a piece of shit.
Right.
There were certain people that were still big scumbags, but other than that,
yeah. Right. But we thought they were all scumbags back then.
Yeah, and now
now the goalposts have changed so much that we're like, oh, I'll take these guys.
Like, what is that? Who are these people? Ross Perot, where are you at? Or like a kid? Where's one of your where's like a Ross?
Oh, speaking of which, not Ross Perot, but one of the old school Republicans, Ron Paul.
Yeah.
You remember he was like a favorite of the libertarians.
Yeah, Ron.
He was just at the Capitol yesterday with a pro-Putin, pro-Russian protest going on, and spoke.
Dude, there's a lot of I think
and Roger Waters from Pink Floyd.
There's a lot of people that are pro Putin and pro Russia.
You keep telling me that. There wasn't a lot of people. It was like maybe 1,000 people.
That's a lot of people to be like, yeah, that like collectively got there, took public transit. I hope you didn't travel from another state, but
Oh yeah, they did. Like
everyone,
Tulsi Gabbard.
Well, yeah, but they're gonna have someone I don't know, like Black Rifle Coffee or something. They're gonna we'll fly out there, Tulsi. She's like, I'm a Republican now, or what'd she say? I'm an independent. What'd she switch to?
That's not. No, you're thinking of somebody different.
No,
not Kirsten Sinema.
No, she did it too. She denounced her Democratic.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, I thought she was a Democrat. I thought she was a Democrat, and I saw her talking at the pro-Putin rally. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, dude, Tulsi Gabbard's out there. She's like a psyop that failed, and now they just don't know what to do with her. And weird dudes who wear sunglasses 24/7 that are reflective and backwards hats are like, man, she's so hot, man, I'd vote for her for president. So she started a podcast. It's kind of smart.
Why? Because I have a backwards hat on?
Well, no, not you. I'm saying that's you're not wearing pit vipers right now.
No.
And your angle's set.
It's not weird.
You could.
All right, y'all. So we're going to do a little bit something different. We only have one therapy question today, but it is a doozy. Now, I workshopped this, and I've never gotten so much reaction from people when I asked them this question. So I figured we just have to have this on here.
Well, it's not really fair. Disclaimer, I saw this, because this was circulating on Twitter for a little bit.
Yeah. I didn't come up with it.
Yeah, no. So I've thought about this.
Okay, well, that is fair.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you thought about it.
Yeah, there's multiple.
I'm glad that you thought about the topic before we bring it up.
Yeah,
Okay. So, y'all, and get your pencils and papers out just so that you can keep track of this, audience. So you are in an arena, like a gladiator type Coliseum arena, and you have to pick two of these animals to defend you, and then every other animal will attack you, and your goal is to survive for 1 hour. So what do you pick and why? Here we go. So 50 hawks, 10 crocodiles, 3 brown bears, 15 wolves, 1 hunter with a rifle, 7 buffalo, 10,000 rats, 5 gorillas, 4 lions. So you get to pick 2 groups to defend you. You have to survive for 1 hour. Every other group's going to attack you. So since you thought about it so much, why don't you start us off?
Well, I'm interested to hear your take on it. Because there's
we're both going to have a take, but you just...
Well, okay. Well, I don't think...
You said it wasn't fair because you thought about it.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, I've read a bunch of different theories on this. I don't think that there's one necessarily correct one. Now,
wrong.
Okay. Now, I think most people right off the bat are like, oh, well, I'll do 3 bears and I'll do 5 gorillas. I personally think that you have to at least have 10,000 rats because that's 100%. A sheer number. Honestly, I think it's 10,000 rats and probably 50 hawks. Just because you'd be able to attack from the sky. Those are overwhelming numbers. 50 hawks. Hawks are ruthless, man. Hawks can would fuck something up. And it's just the sheer numbers. The rats would overwhelm almost everything. If you were covered in 10,000 rats, the weight of that, there's no way you'd be able to get up. It'd be too much. You'd get overwhelmed. The guy would only be shooting 1, maybe 5 at a time. You'd get engulfed. And the hawks, because it's the aerial, it'd be attacking everything from the sky. There's enough hawks there for have 1 hawk per animal at least. So they would just, and everything would be covered, and then there'd be 10,000 rats swarming. You'd really have to worry about the hunter with the rifle because because of the range, he could shoot you. So if he can just see you and shoot you, then you're kind of fucked. But he doesn't get overwhelmed really quickly. No, he would though, because he'd have birds too. He'd have a couple hawks swooping down on him.
So this is okay. So 50 hawks, 10,000 rats. Sounds nice, but you've got no protection. It's like you can't hide behind a bear because the hawks are in the air, the rats are tiny. So now you're just out in the open. So you have to think about that with the rifle.
Yeah, but 10,000 rats, you could build a wall with those rats. They'd just be a wall. That's a mob, man. 1,000 rats is a lot, and rats. We're not talking mice. We're talking rats.
Right.
So 10,000.
No, trust me, 10,000 rats are in.
10,000 rats would fill this room that I'm sitting in.
At least. Probably 3 rooms this size. That's a shit ton of rats. So I feel like people are sleeping on the buffalo.
Why? Because they just go run and rampage? Or you could hide behind them?
You could hide behind them, rampage. You got 10,000 rats doing the dirty work. They're just knocking fools out. That hunter with the rifle, it's gonna be hard to take out a buffalo with 1 shot, period. So but the reason why I say that people are sleeping on them is because everybody asked, nobody was including the buffalo. And then somebody tried to say the 10 crocodiles, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding?" I was like, I think I could take out a crocodile by myself."
Yeah, just stand behind it, and it'd be like, "Where'd you go?" And then and
just
then I'd
confuse it,
and then I'd straddle you and grab your head and put it under my chin and be like, "Everybody, look at me, man!" No.
But then the other part of this is, so they have to take out these other animals. So you got 5 gorillas up in there working with lions and wolves and bears.
I know, but
that's a nightmare.
10,000 rats would consume 3 bears. It would just be whoa, it'd be too much. A bear would not be able to stop 10,000 rats, let alone 3 bears. That's so many rats. It would engulf you. You would be covered to your head. They would just bite you, and it'd just be constant. That'd be the worst way to die.
We both agreed that the 10,000 rats are on the squad. But then it's
there's nothing else that can defend you from 50 hawks. There's nothing else. That's the skies, bro. So then you'd be coming in from
they have air dominance?
Yeah, you'd have air dominance, and you have enough hawks. If you have 50 hawks, yeah, the crocodiles,
the crocodiles are out.
Crocodiles are a non-factor to me. The wolves are pretty intense. The wolves would be pretty scary, but they'd be able to still fuck with the wolves. The hawks would swoop down and fuck with the wolves. Hunter with the rifle.
Could 2 hawks kill a wolf?
They could blind it. They could fuck it up. Hawks are intense, man. They got talons.
All these animals are intense.
They're all I know, but I'm just saying that. So the sheer number of them, because 50 hawks is a shit ton of hawks. Just saying. I think that's it.
You've got the hunter. You have the hunter with the rifle taking the hawks out as the bears.
He'd maybe get 1. Because there'd be 2 that are swooping down on him faster than he could aim and hit him. That'd be that'd be a nightmare. And it's not 1, it's 2. And then he'd run away. He'd be running away from birds.
And then I go and grab the rifle, and all of a sudden now everything's changed. Now I'm the hunter with the rifle, with the 50 hawks, with the 10,000 rats.
Yeah, you ride a wave of rats. Just ride around with these hawks hovering above you. That's epic.
I don't think 50 hawks could take out 7 buffalo.
No, but I mean, I think that
The rats would do the job.
I mean, the rats are gonna get a lot. Now, their rats are gonna die, so you're not gonna have 10,000
obviously.
of them. But like, you know, if brown bears, yeah, I don't know, hunter with a rifle, the wolves, it's just too much. You could be like, all right, go take out the wolves.
Do you think you could win this if it was just you and 10,000 rats versus everybody else?
No, probably not. If you had
So
like 50,000 rats,
you need the 50 hawks.
yeah, you would need the hawks because that makes it to where the rats can like the sheer because they'll be overwhelming.
They can like dismember. They could dismember like the animal, and then the hawks could come down and just finish the job.
I mean, like, how many rats would it take to take down a person?
Ooh, I don't know, 10.
You think? No, I'd probably got to be more than that. But I mean, I feel like for it to
At
be
least okay, at most 100.
yeah, if 100 rats were beelining it for you and all it got you, attacked you at once, that would be pretty horrific.
You're done. You're done.
Yeah, you're probably done if they quite a coordinated attack. So in this, I mean,
We're assuming it's all coordinated.
yeah, they're defending me. Yeah, they can
Yeah.
build a wall of rats and then like part it like the sea and like walk through it and the birds.
So you only have to last for an hour. Is like I also feel like that's underrated. Like
I think
that
that'd be a
part of it.
fast fight. I mean, are these things fighting each other, or is it they just like now they're all just ganging up on me? Is this a Royal Rumble?
Yeah, we're all in the fucking same arena together, and all of them have a mission to kill you, other than the two you pick.
I know, but I'm saying like, are the crocodiles and the bears gonna get into it, or are they just like we're a squad?
No. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no. I mean, I don't think you. It would probably, if with the setup you have, you'd have to be on the offensive. My setup is an offensive setup, for sure.
Right. Oh, you mean as opposed to like hiding behind like a
Yeah,
buffalo?
like you being defensive. Because like if
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
using then like so then what if you were hiding behind the buffalo? Like you know they're also going to need to ride, so you could maybe ride them. That'd be kind of tight, and you could
Well,
like
that defeats the purpose.
plow them through everyone.
Because your goal is not to like kill all of these animals. Your goal is to just last for an hour.
No, dude, if you're in a pit with 10 crocodiles, 3 bears, 15 wolves, a white guy, he's just white for some reason, with a rifle, 7 buffalo,
I envision
5
him as being white
gorillas,
as well.
and 4 lions, like, no, it's not gonna take an hour. You're either gonna die or you're gonna kill everything there. There's no way.
You got 7 buffalo like who just stampeded over the 10 crocodiles. They're gone, and then they have like a hectagon around you, and these gorillas are gonna try to come and challenge these buffalo. I don't know, dude.
I think that you would just create so much pandemonium with the sheer numbers that they wouldn't know what to do. They'd be running into each other trying to escape all these birds and all these hundreds of rats that are attaching themselves to one another. That'd be wild. Yeah, I'd want to see that.
So we're locking down 50 hawks, 10,000 rats.
That's my pick. That's my pick is 50 hawks, 10,000 rats.
Yeah, I think you might have sold me on that.
Because if, like I said, at first people are like, oh, well, I want the bears and the gorillas. Or gorillas and lions.
Bears was a hot take like in the beginning. And I'm like, what are you guys talking about? It's 3 of them.
Because they're pretty intense.
No, I know they're intense, but it's just so is every fucking animal on here.
That's what I'm saying. Like, because if they got on like if the rat swarm just got on the back of one of these things, it would just engulf it. It would just like, it would just mow through people.
Yeah.
And the birds would eat the scraps.
Shit. It's 13, 28, 29, 36. So it's 45 animals. If you take the 10,000 rats and 50 hawks, at 45 animals they have to go through.
Okay.
The 10,000 rats.
Each animal gets a hawk, and then you can put like 2 or 3 on the guy with the rifle. And then, have some to swarm with the rats.
And then you have like basically 200 rats per animal.
It's a lot of rats.
I know, but we were saying how many does it take to take down a human?
Well, but I'm saying you
It's
separate
gonna
the
take a lot
birds.
more. It's gonna take a lot more to take down a buff.
Well, yeah, but I mean, a buffalo, like, that's what I'm saying is I don't think they go out. I think it moves like a cloud. Maybe you split it into 5,000 groups of the rats, and they go and they like, they just would just do laps. Because it wouldn't be about like, oh, here's 200. Because you could already have 3 birds, still have 2 extras, 1 per swarm, and they could just patrol and just like mow through shit. Because it'd be the sheer number. 200 wouldn't be enough. 200 for the guy with the rifle, but the other 40, like, you know, what? 9,800 are just like roaming through and just plowing through everything.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and because the birds are going to fuck some stuff up. Like, they're going to be able to swoop and attack a gorilla. If a bird wanted to blind you from the sky and you didn't see it coming, it'd be hard to stop it. It's probably, they got some fucking talons, man.
I don't know. I seen King Kong though. All right. Well, I don't know how that's a therapy question, but there it was.
Have you seen the King Kong version of Ray? Because he's blind the whole time. He's not as good of a fighter.
It's like, ah!
He doesn't even. He never finds the building.
And he's on heroin.
He's just roaming through 5 points. Like.
All right, y'all. We're gonna move on to the current events, the topics, the articles.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess most people have been able to keep up with it. Voting machine. The owner.
The company of the voting machines.
That Rudy Giuliani said was attached to who is it?
Hugo Chavez.
Hugo Chavez. It was started in Venezuela, which is pretty incredible.
Because Hugo's been dead for like 6-7 years.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, it was created to help him. People are like, what the fuck? This is the same case that wound up having Sidney Powell be disbarred, if I remember correctly. Rudy Giuliani.
Lou Dobbs.
Yeah.
Lou Dobbs got kicked off of Fox News because they named him in the lawsuit.
Yeah, Lou Dobbs. Rudy Giuliani got in a bunch of trouble because of this as well. This is, like what was it? His hair dye melting. I mean, this has been...
Sidney Powell. Sounds like a Mexican dish.
She's fucking insane. She really is. She's nuts. But so they've been going through this lawsuit where they are being sued by Dominion for a shit ton of money about saying that they were knowingly making false statements about their voting machines and saying that the elections were rigged and there was backdoor access where they could change and switch votes. And, like they're attached to Hugo Chavez, the ghost of Venezuelans past. They ended up getting sued by Dominion. This has been going on, and they've just released a statement. Not really a statement. I believe it's
They've released all of the discovery from the trial.
Discovery from the trial, and that included a bunch of interesting stuff, including text message conversations from anchors who were pushing these lies about there being voter fraud. It's also the grand jury investigation in Fulton County. So in that as well, there's information from that because they were able. That just came out that they proved there was no voter fraud or anything like that going on. Well, now in this Dominion lawsuit, they released a bunch of these text messages from Tucker Carlson, Laura Ingraham, Hannity, Murdoch himself,
a bunch of Fox execs.
Yeah.
Okay, so so these are all text messages in real time of them all like texting each other how none of them believed that there was fraud, even though not a single one of them said that on air. They were all like, they knew that there was no fraud, but then they were still perpetuating it on air.
Yeah.
But my favorite one, and like you can go through it, but just it was Tucker Carlson was like saying some crazy shit on the air, and one of the Fox executives goes to like text somebody, like one of his like partners, and he's like, Jesus Christ, he's like, there's more nuance in North Korea's media than this.
Dude.
It's like,
shit's wild. Hold on, let me pull this article up. But the article's from The Hill, and it's five top revelations from Dominion's explosive court filing and Fox News lawsuit. And I believe it's 178 pages long. We got text messages and emails and testimony contained in the filing show the outlet's top executives and hosts casting doubt on former president's false claims of a stolen election and worrying about how fact-checking those assertions on air might be received by conservative media outlets' massive audience. So there's tons of information where they're sitting there. I believe there was a reporter named Heineke who worked for Fox News, and she made a fact-checking tweet about there not being, or that the top election officials said there was no voter fraud. There was no proof of it yet.
And then what happened?
Then Tucker Carlson sent a text, it was Tucker Carlson sent a text message, and it was complaining about this person.
She said that she needs to get fired.
Yeah, saying she needed to be fired.
Right now. He means right now because this is hurting us, and the stock price is going down. And then he ends it with, "I'm not kidding."
Yeah,
or this is no joke.
And then there's more. Then there's more messages following that where it's like they follow up. She ended up deleting the tweet, but followed up like, "Oh, Tucker's extremely upset. How can something like this be happening on one of our studios or with one of our reporters?" The constant pushing of this lie. Where is it? Sidney Powell is lying, by the way. I caught her. It's insane. Tucker Carlson wrote to fellow primetime host Laura Ingraham on November 18th. I'll repeat that. Sidney Powell is lying, by the way. I caught her. It's insane.
Yeah. But then,
follow up. Yeah. Sidney is a complete nut. No one will work with her. Ditto with Rudy. Ingraham responded. That was her response.
Why the long face, Laura? And then Sean Hannity said that they need to respect their audience, even though that we all disagree with them. So basically, it's like this whole thing where it's like they know it's not true, but they're just like, we have to perpetuate this, and they're worried about. And so what actually happened was, Fox News was the first organization that called Arizona for Trump. I mean, he called it for Biden.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that everybody lost their mind that Fox News would say that Arizona was for Biden, and they were the first ones to do it. So then they did see a downward decrease of their audience within the next week or two. And so that's why he's like, the stock price is going down. We're losing our audience because we're not perpetuating these lies. But then all they did was perpetuate the lies from there on out.
Yeah.
Now they're getting sued by for $1.6 billion.
And they're gonna lose.
Yeah, they are gonna lose.
They're gonna.
It's time to settle, Fox News. It's time to settle.
Yeah, I mean, you have your biggest host on the entire platform that they have, admitting that they don't believe it, that they're willingly they're mocking these people they're having on their shows to talk about this shit. It's mind blowing. Yep. They're fucked, man. Right? And then Murdoch saying that the stuff that they're saying is crazy, being like, "Oh man, the stuff that we're saying out here is insane stuff." Yeah,
and this is all before the January 6th insurrection. So it's like you guys know that it's fake, but you're perpetuating this bullshit lie. And what did it lead to,
Well, all of their text messages, because their text messages came up during the January 6th committee.
No, I'm saying when we're saying it was on November 18th. That's 2 months.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's even it's almost crazy. It's we have a whole timeline now. We could go back from January 6th all the way back to infinity about them talking about, or I guess when the moment they started saying that, the moment they started saying that stuff. But then some of them were probably caught on wiretaps. Tucker Carlson's they were spying on my emails because you were talking to Russians.
Yeah, pro-Putin ass bitch.
Dude, I can't believe. I guess you're in Cali, so you don't see that many. But there's a lot of pro-Putin people, man. They're Ukraine's corrupt, which it is. I mean, there's corruption in all governments.
Yeah,
but
the United States is corrupt.
But, oh, yeah.
Clearly.
How dare you? You don't like it, move out. Kiss my stars and stripes, all right? Who do you think you are?
Joe Biden on President's Day, coming into Kyiv, like today, like into Ukraine. Like the Republicans are like it's disgraceful that he can fly out to Ukraine to protect their borders, but he can't protect ours. It's like shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I have a wall. I mean, I think if you really want to, I mean, this is probably an unpopular opinion, but I don't think building a wall is helpful and stop protecting the border. If you want to do that, I think you would have to militarize the border in a sense to where like you like use modern technology to surveil it on to like
No, that's what we're doing.
an
Biden called it a smart wall. He's like, yeah, because okay, we all Republicans, Democrats, we can all agree whatever we've done so far hasn't worked. You know what defeats a wall? A ladder. So like they're coming out with this technology where it's like instead of like everybody just like hanging out by the wall, they can detect that there are people coming over, and then they're just saying like, okay, there's this many people coming through here, and then those people, then the border patrol can respond accordingly. But also the border patrol has like 4,000 job like openings that nobody wants to fucking like work for, so they're like understaffed, and it's just like it.
Well, I mean,
Like
it's a tough job and it's dangerous.
I know,
and it doesn't pay really well.
This open borders bullshit is bullshit, because it's not like we want open borders as Democrats. We just like we want responsible immigration policies, because immigration is like what made this country great. Like, and we're gonna need it. Our population's getting older. Like, we're gonna need new and the birth rate's going down. Like, people can't afford to have kids anymore, so it's just like plummeting. So we're not gonna have enough people to replace the old people who are retiring unless we have immigration. So we need immigration. We also obviously need to protect our borders, because like we don't need like just like randos coming in here. Like, if we could stop
Greg Abbott is the man to do it. I'm telling you, I've been saying it.
Dude,
like a true-blooded American, as I sit here drinking my grapefruit Austrian beer, man. You can't tell me that I don't know liberty and I don't love my borders, man.
If I put a 6-foot fence up, he couldn't see over it. You know what I'm saying? I sleep at the wheels.
You'd build a ramp, man. If you build a wall that tall, you got to make it accessible, man.
You got to put a ramp. You got to put a ramp on the wall.
ADA law, man. ADA. That's classic. See, man, that's commie move right there, man. I tell you what.
Oh man.
But no,
yeah, but you put Fox News is lying, duh. And I agree with you. Like, this is not even surprising whatsoever. But
it's so blatant that it hopefully, like, you know, like
I mean, hopefully that, yeah, like hopefully my mom and like, you know, my aunts and uncles, like they like this could be a turning point, hopefully, but we'll see.
Carlson at one point allegedly confronted Powell directly about her claims, saying, "You keep telling our viewers that millions of votes were changed by the software. I hope you can prove that very soon. You've convinced them that Trump will win. If you don't have conclusive evidence of fraud at that scale, it's cruel and reckless. It's a cruel and reckless thing to keep saying."
But then he just keeps saying it to this day.
Yeah, no, here it is. And I can hear him saying, "Please get her fired. Seriously. What the fuck? I'm actually shocked. It needs to be stopped immediately. Like tonight. It's measurably hurting the company. The stock price is down. Not a joke."
Yeah, that was about the person who fact checked like the lies on air.
I'm 3 strikes. Wallace shit debate. Election night, a disaster. Now this BS, nope, not gonna fly. Did I mention Cavtuvo? The 2 hosts were the only ones making issues with the reporter's fact checking on Dominion's allegations. We're not pleased. Dude, this is amazing. Like, it's so wild to see, because like whenever this is all going on, they're just going up there spouting off bullshit and then texting about it and being like, "Oh man, this is crazy. I hope they come up with something," because they're just grifting. I saw this thing where, you know, back whenever Tucker Carlson was on Crossfire and basically got canceled by Jon Stewart, was not back, like was not on the show the next day. I think the show was canceled after that.
Yeah, that's a deep take, or whatever they call it.
Yeah, that's back when he was wearing like a bow tie and like a tweed jacket and shit and looked like a schmuck.
And it was on CNN.
Yeah, CNN Crossfire. And if you haven't ever seen that, go watch it. It's Jon Stewart. He's a guest on Crossfire, and he just rips Tucker Carlson and whoever his Democratic co-host was, but it was
It's Paul Balaga, I think it's his name.
because it was
Bagala.
and like the premise of it is you have like two people on opposing sides of the political spectrum having guests but also debating issues and discussing topics, but it was all real surface level and kind of cheesy, and that's what Jon Stewart went on there and like made a mockery of it and them, and then Tucker Carlson vanished. Then he replaced Bill O'Reilly at the primetime slot, and now he's just like the voice of craziness. But he'll play into anything if it's going to keep him on television. So he doesn't really care.
I also think he's on the take from the Russians.
You think?
Yes. Like, it's obvious.
Well,
he goes out to like Hungary and hangs out with like Viktor Orban. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
this dude, he's such a like a little beta bitch. Like, who's like, oh, look at these autocrats. Oh. You know, it's like, it's gross.
It's gotta be around them, yeah.
Yeah, it's like one day I can hope to be an autocrat. Like, I remember like just like a year or two ago, like people were saying that they think that the front runner for the 2024 campaign would be Tucker Carlson if he entered the race. And I was like, God damn, I hope that happens. Just destroy him.
No, because he'd go up there and do his little shtick, man. People
okay, but he's in a safe place because he's a little snowflake. So he only has people on who agree with him on Fox News, and people only watch it who agree with him. So you go into the big boy stage and have to go talk to like a real person.
Yeah,
like, you get eviscerated.
At least he had, at least Bill O'Reilly would have some people that he disagree with, and
like Jon Stewart
would piss him off. Would he really get under his skin? But yeah,
Papa Bear.
But Tucker Carlson will have anybody on, yeah, and if they agree with him on the certain topic, so it could be somebody that he absolutely despises, but because on that one topic, like, so you think the parents should have more say in what happens at school, don't you? And he always has this real concerned look. It's so fucking obnoxious. And and he'll have like, you know, I mean, I'm trying to think of something like Arian Foster or something, former running back for the Texans, who's all spiritual and is like, yeah, man, vaccines are killing us or something like that. He would have him on, and then it's like, that's the only thing they'd agree on. And it's, or he has Jason Whitlock's black ass on there. I fucking hate Jason Whitlock.
Yeah,
sorry. He's the worst, dude. He is the worst, and he wears those stupid hats. They don't even match his outfit. He just sits up there and bashes women and bashes other black men. It's like the craziest shit I've ever seen.
That's the other thing that Tucker's like. He like came out with the documentary about how men are losing like their sperm count and all this stuff, and that's why like America is the way that it is, because it's like the American man. It's like, you're not an American man. You wear bow ties, homie.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
And he has like 4 names or 4 or 5 names. Like it's like Tucker, like Augustus Caesar Carlson the 4th Jr. It's like you have to look up like his real name. It's fucking, this dude is, and he's the man of the people. It's like, nah, dude, this guy went to like Ivy League schools and he's just like a dork from prep school. Like, get the fuck out of my face.
This is our son. His name's Presley Braxton Remington Thornton the 5th.
That's exactly.
We call him Presley.
That's probably his brother.
I came up with that name the other day. I'm sure someone's named that, but you know, you're always like, oh, that's a Chad. But I was trying to explain, like, Chad is now that the term of Chad is just like an umbrella. And then there's like multiple different Chads, different versions of it. Because, like, you know, there's a bunch of Chad names. He doesn't have to be Chad to be a Chad, but Presley. I was like, that is such a pretentious, like, reaching ass name. They're like, oh, this is our, and it could be, it's good, it's unisex, boy or girl. Presley. I was like, that's so good.
Do you know any Presleys?
No.
Okay,
but that's like a.
I didn't know that was a name.
No, but that's a bougier way because Presley be like, oh, this is our son or our daughter Presley. She's in band. She's 2. You're like, what? She's in band? She doesn't. What does she play? The Fisher Price cymbals? Get the fuck out of here. But that's a good like. But that's a good name. So Presley is like a bougier version of Presley. So you gotta think like these people, man.
I know, but they're supposed to be like the, you know, like the Republic, like, you know, like It's the
And then
like
Remington, see, and you throw the Remington in there as a middle name. Pro
because
Second
that's like a
Amendment.
gun. Because that's a good gun.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Presley Winston. Winchester.
Winchester.
Yeah, they do it. This is Bobby. This is Robert Beretta. We call him Bobby. Bobby Beretta.
Uh,
Braxton Jackson the fifth. I'll stop dragging. I'll stop dragging bougie
okay, okay.
people.
So
Those are
his
our
real
people.
name, no, no, his real name is Tucker Swanson McNear Carlson.
What is it? Four names. You're a serial killer.
Nah, it's usually three, I think.
Is it? Damn, that's me, man.
Like John Wayne Casey.
Yeah, Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
damn.
Tucker's yeah, so he's more than a serial killer, y'all. Allegedly.
Allegedly, he's allegedly a Russian plant propagandist.
Oh no, he definitely is.
But I mean, they
Google.
all are. They love Victor Orban. We did that. Victor
I
does
know.
Dallas.
They just love a strong, like
He's like, we should
white.
not.
Yeah.
White people should marry white people, and everyone was like, yeah. And they're like, I only cheer because we have to be polite and cheer because he's not from here. He's our guest. You're like, that's why I cheered.
So they had CPAC, which is the Conservative Political Action Committee conference, or whatever the fuck it's called.
In Dallas, it was here.
No, okay, but they just had one last year in Hungary, CPAC Hungary, where he went, and all these Republicans who were in Congress went, and guess what? They're doing it again.
Oh,
They
of
didn't.
course.
They didn't change the venues.
Why would they? They got the hookup.
Gross.
Yeah, man. I think that there's a fascination. Some people are genuinely fascinated with like the people who have immense wealth and immense power, like in that portion of the world. There's like, I mean, there's some people who are like obsessed with it. I'm sure we know people who's like, man, I could just sell everything and move to Dubai. There's people.
Well, okay, if you sold everything and moved to Dubai, then Dubai's not fun. You move to Dubai when you're rich.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. You would want to be rich, so they would just get rid of their stuff and then like have money to leave. I wouldn't want to ever move there, but there's some people who like are obsessed with it and obsessed with that aspect of culture, of the world culture. And it's just really weird to me. And it is like a large predominant group of them are like older white guys. Not to like make it about that, but you don't see a lot but it kind of is.
Yeah, no, it 100% is. But I mean, Dubai's a little bit different. Like, it's just as like there's definitely problematic aspects of Dubai.
Well, no, but I'm saying the same.
But
with
you don't
like
have to walk around with like a burqa on.
Yeah, but I'm saying it. But it's also like the same with Qatar and the wealth in Qatar. I'm just talking about like that portion of the world and the people that are extremely powerful, whether financially or politically. There's like an American obsession in like a certain age demographic that exists with those people. It's really interesting to me, like more so than like younger generations, but there's a lot of guys that are like Tucker Carlson who are like, oh man, like and go over there to some portion.
Do you think Tucker Carlson's ever been to Dubai? Get the fuck out.
He probably would. No, man. Like I'm in Dallas, and if I have to listen to the radio because they got rid of ESPN radio, so you have to listen to the ticket, and it's terrible. And they're like talking about like roaming around Saudi Arabia and all the shit, and how it was just like the best time of their lives or something. And it was just weird to me. Not that that's like a terrible thing, but when I think of Saudi Arabia, I think about tons of other stuff. And I'm not like, oh man, I need to go back and hang out with the sultans and go play free golf. That's just like, I don't know. It's like it's almost like there's a lot of things that go on over there that are frustrating or not. I have strong opinions on, but it's like the other side of it is the people that are doing it like intoxicate people. And there's just been there's a section of Americans that are just intoxicated with Putin or with somebody like Orban or somebody who's out there who just like wields dominant power.
Exactly, over women especially. They're rich. They're over their people, over women especially. Like see MBS, see Viktor Orban, see Putin. It's like that's what they're really into. It's like. It's like the good old days back in the 50s, when women knew their place. And like now, look at these guys. They know what's up. Like that's really what it is.
Yeah, they've gone like farther and farther away from America to try to like seek out that type of lifestyle still exists.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it is, and it's like, and that's what I'm saying is it's like a certain like demographic, like an age group of people that have like this intoxicated fantasy. And unless you were one of the ones who were like, oh, eat a dick, go fuck yourselves. But I'm sure there's a group of people who are like, well, Saddam's, shitty, but he's not that bad because, I mean, he's, he runs his shit, man. There's a whole group of people who will sit there.
They're probably like, oh, the Taliban's not that shitty. That, like women don't need to be going to school. Like, it's
and you're like, what? And it's like, it comes from like a certain, like, I'm not trying to generalize, but
these are the same, but these are the same people that were all about the war in Afghanistan.
And that's what I'm saying is these are the same people that are like, well, Putin's doing what needs to be done. And you're like, what? Like, since when has he ever done anything? This guy is like a trained Spetsnaz KGB murderous spy. We talk about it all the time. And they're like, but now he's on the right path. You know what? He's turned a feather. He's a different man now. He's, older in age, and he really wants to right some of the wrongs. So he's going to go attack
crimes
Ukraine.
Against humanity.
Yeah, he's going to go attack this small island peninsula area off the coast of Belarus. He's just going to go in and just fuck it up. Some people want him there, some people don't, but he's just going to do it. And you know what? He's turning over a new leaf. I trust him now. Like, it's the stupidest shit ever. It's the scorpion and the frog or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyways, back full circle. They're in a shit ton of trouble, and Murdoch is also stated in a lot of these talking about how they knowingly are perpetuating a lie that they're now being sued for by the company that they were lying about. So it's pretty awesome. Do you think this buries Fox News? No.
I think that they're gonna have to settle in order for it to bury them, or for it not to bury them, because if you look at their market cap, like this is a huge hit on their market cap. Like what is it? Is it 1.4 or 1.6 billion?
I think it's 1.6 billion for the lawsuit.
Yeah, 1.6 billion, and then was it what's the parent company? Like News Corporation. Okay.
Wait, what?
Their market cap is 10 point. So their market cap right now is 11 billion. So you're gonna lose 10% of your market cap in a lawsuit? I don't think so. Like, that's gonna be hard to survive. So you better fucking settle.
Yeah. Dominion could not possibly suffer damages in that amount, Fox's filing reads, let alone suffer such damages because of a single press outlet's coverage of a story that was reported by media throughout the world. Even though, like, y'all were the biggest proponents of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're fucked.
Yeah, I mean, they're super fucked. And they've been going through it, man. I mean, it's
that's what happens when you act like
pour
an
one
asshole
out,
and lie.
pour one out for Fox News, man.
No,
it's like Succession. It's like Succession in real life.
I know it. No, in Succession,
but
Logan Roy wouldn't have these text messages coming out like, like he'd be like, have somebody else go do it.
Well, no, I'm saying that's like Succession, but like they're not as smart or likable.
Right.
Yeah. Because we don't know anything about it. But Rupert Murdoch's a piece of shit. So hopefully this, dents them, damages their credibility, opens some people's eyes to the bullshit that they're spreading. But if you have a chance, go check out. There's tons of articles, but this one's by The Hill. Yeah, man. Texts are out there. Text me, ZADDY.
Isn't the next one about like from The Hill as well?
Yeah, well, I was looking, and
okay, here we go.
I've been trying to mix it up. I got 2 from The Hill, and I have 1 from Vox, which I was just like picking stuff like, because I try to mix it up. I like BBC, NPR. Yeah, I'm trying to branch out. From
Bloomberg.
Trump. Yeah, that's your favorite.
No, come on, man.
Well, and I like being able to
at this point, you've put in so many more articles than I have, and you often have Bloomberg in there.
I put Bloomberg in there for you. I do it just for you. Trump rages against New York Post after DeSantis profile. So there's a big profile on Ron DeSantis. And we've seen this. Donald Trump tweet, or I guess he truthed, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Truth?
Yeah.
He truthed
Shout out
out,
Truth Social.
Truthed out a picture. Yeah, plug it. Yeah, go on there. send
Free
us
plug.
DM me his like goofy shit and I'll talk about it. He truthed recently a picture of Ron DeSantis, a groomer. It's pretty wild. And that was
The best part. The best part was like the very next press conference that DeSantis had. Uh, he didn't really mention that he was called a groomer, but he's standing in front of like a bunch of. It was like he's at a Pampers factory, so there's like a bunch of diapers like stacked up behind him. It's like if you want to like go on the offensive and say you're not a groomer, maybe not be like at a kids.
And he's like, I'm doing this. I'm going to respond to this outrageous truth that was sent out from this Chuck E. Cheese. Keep it down,
so
kid.
weird that
here's some tokens. Who wants free tokens?
Isn't it so weird that he was a
Zaddy's got tokens.
High school teacher?
Yeah, that's pretty wild. But we had, I mean, you know, people change, man. People change when they get into politics. I mean, George Santos.
He got into politics and then started banning books.
George Santos shedded. He like malted like 8 skins before he became the one that is now in political office. But the profile carries a headline quoting atop DeSantis' talking point. People don't want an agenda being shoved down their throat, which is hilarious because that's exactly what Ron DeSantis fucking does. But we're writing up. A lot of people are saying that Ron DeSantis is going to potentially win. They're saying that he could win the nomination for the presidency in 2024. I don't think it's that likely.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's just historically, it's not going to happen. Like, anybody who gets this much publicity in the beginning, who's a governor, always loses when it comes to the Republican Party. And he, like, spoke out against Biden going to Ukraine today. It's the first time he ever even talked about, like, foreign policy. And it's like, okay, so... Are you differentiating yourself from Trump, or are you guys just both the assholes who believe in the same thing and are like, which one do you want?
Yeah, I mean, but Trump's, wrote on Sunday on Truth Social, DeSantis is a rhino who's trying to hide his past. I do not read the New York Post anymore. It has become fake news, just like Fox and Wall Street Journal.
Well, remember Trump was really... good friends with the owner of New York Post.
Yeah.
And they're the ones who helped him smuggle the money to Storm Daniels, the hush money. Yeah. So this is personal for him. Like the fact that they like are talking about DeSantis and, when it used to be his butt buddy.
Yeah. It's really weird how people have been, I mean, the way that people have helped Donald Trump out in the past, and the fact that they've continued to do this, and now they're disassociating themselves is weird. That's so weird. Like, yeah, let me help you shovel some money to this girl that you're cheating on your pregnant wife with to hush her up. That's fucking crazy. The New York person's like, yeah, man, I got you, bro.
No, I mean, it was just like, he would feed like articles to the New York Post.
No,
like,
I know, but I mean, it's so weird.
They're both scumbags. Like, and then now and it was like Donald Trump was never going to get arrested before he like ran for president, and
True.
then he started doing like he probably got sued more than anybody in the history of the country, but he would like fight those lawsuits, and it was all civil. But now he's like under like investigation for like real criminal shit, like up into like. And not discluding treason. So I think everybody's like, get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah, the Post ran a front page headline with the headline, "The Future." See, that's such petty shit. These old guys just barking about petty weird shit.
Well, DeSantis is not that old. He's just doughy.
No, he's... Yeah, but Trump's old and just complaining about shit and like old man yells at sky, front page news. He's totally that guy. But I mean, I've said the whole time, and I guess you've kind of disagreed with me, but DeSantis is like spooky. I don't think he could beat Trump, and Trump's spooky for different reasons. But Ron DeSantis is like a fucking madman.
No, I've come around a little bit, like to what you were saying. I feel like Donald Trump, it'd be the worst fucking thing that we could ever do as a country is to reelect him. But DeSantis. Like, even I just saw today, it was 100% today. that there's Republicans who are like worried about DeSantis getting the nomination because of how he abuses his position in the government to like crack down on people like Disney. He's like out here like fighting Disney and like and African American education. I know. So they're like, this is like a little bit like this is too much. He's like like Trump. We didn't know that he was gonna flex like that necessarily, but we've seen DeSantis already do it.
No, yeah, does it constantly, and it's like, and they'll hold a press conference in some goofy boots, and you're like, yeah, I went in there and I pushed their kid because their kid was talking shit about me on Facebook, and I said, listen here, you twerp.
Yeah,
beat the
he's like a less lovable Chris Christie.
Yeah, he's like a Florida Chris Christie. If Chris Christie moved and retired in Florida early because his parents like, oh, we have mineral rights. They found a bunch of sodium in the backyard. I don't know. So we're moving and decided to move down there. That's exactly who that fucker is. He's some weird dude from fucking Topeka, Kansas, who moved to Florida and ruins it for the whole fucking neighborhood.
I mean, Florida, like, it's like Jersey can be obnoxious, but the most obnoxious, maybe of every state combined, is Florida. Yeah.
Texas is up there. Texas is really obnoxious.
It's not. Nobody's on Florida's level, dude.
No, Florida's garbage.
You're not going to take that trophy.
No, Florida's really bad, but Texas
has a lot of great people. Like, there's no like Austin version of Florida.
Sure, there is.
No, we would know. And Austin's the capital.
Destin. No, I'm just kidding.
Get the fuck out of here.
Just kidding.
It's like all you could say is like maybe Miami. And
it's so like, white, the beaches.
Miami's
are
wild. Miami's like totally different.
Yeah, Miami's like Sodom and Gomorrah. It's like it's like pure. I mean, I haven't been down there for so long and forever. I need to go visit Sticky, but it just looks like madness.
Yeah,
I just couldn't do it. It'd be too much, man. It's too much.
At least Austin's like semi-civilized.
I guess. Well, yeah, it depends on what part of town you're in, I guess.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. It's not like cocaine strippers and Republicans, which is what Miami is.
Yeah. All right, last article. It's just a kind of a chat update. Would better regulations and equipment mandates have prevented the Ohio rail disaster? What's crazy is the day after we did last week's podcast, there was a train derailment in Houston.
You actually.
No, that was the same day. I'm sorry. There's been one in Michigan since. There's been like 3 or 4.
Yeah, in Michigan. Yeah.
Where there's like yellow shit leaking into the air and people are driving by it on the highway.
I will say that we might have moved like the news coverage on this because like after the day after we posted both the audio and video, all of a sudden it was like, okay, now people are starting to talk about it. Not that they like wasn't in the news, because otherwise how the fuck would we even know about it?
Yeah.
But just like it was like more like front page news.
Yeah, I dig around and find some stuff. So if it's like I was super passionate about that, still am. So that's why, yeah, and we've had that a couple times. Like I was talking about what I wonder what type of weird shit's gonna come out of this George Santos's guy's background. Like 3 weeks before shit started coming out, and then we had to bring it back the fuck up because it just kept happening.
Yeah.
So not that we're like, and I'm obviously it's other people's people's great articles. I just pay attention, and my my brain's a little weird. So I'm like,
well, it's just like how we used to move the crypto market. We moved the social conscious market.
Yeah, that's right. Open your third eye, guys. Yeah, they said that, there's surveillance footage that captures one of the wheel bearings overheating about 20 miles away from where the derailment tracks are. It's come out that there's a bunch of this Civil War era brakes in railroad tracks. Brakes that exist in
so like
railroad.
the brakes that are on the train are from the Civil War in the United States, which was 1864.
That's insane.
160 years ago.
The fact that somebody who doesn't work for the train company hasn't like jacked those and sold those on eBay for like $100,000. Like Antiques Roadshow would freak out if you walked in with some Civil War.
Joseph, you don't realize this. The brakes back in the Civil War, no better brakes. There's no better brakes. Those are the best brakes. But no, Barack Obama passed a law uh, to update the brakes, but they were going to be till like update them to 1990 technology. Still better than Civil War brakes. And then Donald Trump got in office and reversed it.
Of
So
course it is. He's like, that black man did that. I'm gonna tear it down.
exactly.
Dig up the rose garden. Like, what? Really?
Like if Barack Obama passed like a law to say like I'm going to protect the Trump organization from any sort of lawsuits for the history of the of that organization, he'd have been like, "Nah, fuck that,
Shut it down.
shut it down,
Burn it. Burn it all.
burn it. I want to get,
Junior.
I want to get prosecuted."
Fahrenheit 451. Burn it to the ground, Montag. Yeah, but there's literal video, and you can go watch it, of this train like sparking and overheating. Yeah, there's horrible quality level. I mean, they've repealed regulations like we talked about before. They've shortened man hours. This is exactly what that strike was about. This is why, I mean,
well, it wasn't exact. It was
not about that.
That was a piece. It was
a piece of it, and
yeah,
they just warned. There was a lot of foreshadowing in them saying like, "Hey, you gotta be careful."
Yeah, like one of the parts of it was that they get and they're timed on this, like as if they're like Amazon now. But
Yeah,
it's like you have Civil War breaks, you like try to stop your train, but you're gonna act like Amazon. So they get 60 seconds to inspect each car on the train, and I think it was like they were like just asking for 2 minutes, and they're like, no, you get 60 seconds to check out to make sure that this car on the train, like payload or whatever they call it, is like safe. And so and it's two people on the fucking train.
yeah. Governor DeWine said the water is safe and encouraged people with wells to drink bottled water.
Yeah, that's right. A lot of people in this
So
East Palestine have their own well because it's like a rural area.
Yeah. So far, residents have filed at least 6 class action lawsuits against the rail operator. Meanwhile, Pete Buttigieg blames the Trump administration for the rollback of Obama-era rule that required operators carrying hazardous chemicals to employ better braking technology. His statements came as Republicans claim that Buttigieg's department, that's a Buttigieg's department, and the Biden administration have been dragging their feet.
That is true.
We're constrained by the law in some areas of rail regulation, like the braking rule withdrawn by the Trump administration in 2008 because of a law passed by Congress in 2015. But we're using power as we do to keep people safe. I mean, I think it definitely blew up in their face, and they've definitely dragged their feet on this as well.
Literally.
Oh.
No, I know. Like, so
well,
basically, yeah, like Obama passed a regulation to fix the brakes. Trump repealed it, and then the Biden administration and Pete Buttigieg had an opportunity to reverse that, and they didn't.
Yeah. Clearly lack oversight and demand engagement by our nation's top, and that's where everyone, Rubio is bitching at him, Ilhan Omar is bitching at him, saying that he needs to do something about it, which I do agree. I think they just sent the EPA crisis team out there recently, and it was like, but Trump's on his way up there, or was he just there?
Yeah, he's gonna do a rally. I don't know when.
Yeah, he's doing a rally up there pretty soon. He's already been talking about it, so he's going up there. So then,
good, dude. Breathe in all that air. Come on. I know you're recovering from COVID, you obese motherfucker. Like, just breathe in the chemicals, and like, and then we just end this like era over, like right now.
And Norfolk Southern's also been going around trying to get people to allow them into their homes to test their air, test their water, and make them sign away their ability to sue them in the process. So it's like, if you let us do this, you can't sue us.
Yeah, and they got into like, I think it was like 200 houses, and they're like, nope, not a single one of these have anything wrong with them. And it's like, okay, dude, okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't let them in my fucking house.
I saw our girl Erin Brockovich on the news.
Oh yeah, she's back at it, man. She out of the woodwork.
She is the right person to get involved in this. Like,
yeah.
They can do like a special counsel, like the DOJ can assign it, for whatever. We should do like a special envoy. Aaron Brockovich gets to like get funded by the United States to go figure this shit out.
Well, so there's videos of people in the creeks over in that area where the water looks fine. You throw a rock in it, and then on the bottom, all of these crazy bubbles come up, and it's got all these like rainbow, multicolored, just that like I don't even know. What
Yeah,
you call
yeah,
that
no, I know
color.
what you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
Just bubbling up to the surface all
And
over
all the
water.
fish are dead.
All the fish are dead.
Dogs are dying.
Birds, cats.
I swear
deer.
to God, if my dog died because of this shit, I would lose it. John Wick 5.
Goody's turn.
That's right.
It's Goody Wick. It's my cousin, Goody Wick.
Goody Wick. Goody Dick, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus Christ. Jesus, that's terrible. I'm booing you for that. No, I'll give you a clap. That was pretty good. You gotta cheer. You gotta cheer.
Thank you.
Yeah, and penalties for they saying that like, oh, we're gonna pay the penalties. I think they pull in like what tens of billions of dollars in profit a year, and if they had to pay the penalties, it was like less than 1% of what their profits were for last year. If they actually had to pay something.
Yeah, they were handing out $1,000 checks, but that was after they said that they're gonna give only $20,000 to the entire city.
Oh yeah, and they're like, oh, we'll pay. Well, they're letting.
Here's $1,000 check. It's a $1,000 check. What are you talking about? I can't go to my house. And
what?
you made like 14 billion in revenue in Q4.
Or I can't get out of my house because I can't see because I'm blinded by all the shit in the sky.
50 fucking hawks coming at me. Come on.
Yeah, with 50 hawks. In 2022, bipartisan infrastructure bill allocated $66 billion to improve the railroad U.S. rail system, including $2 million for research into impacts of longer trains on derailments. Yeah, I mean, so they've put money into it, so let's do something the fuck about it.
No, I know. It's just going to take a second for the infrastructure bill to kick in.
Why now?
Just how it was set up. I know. And we got this train. We got Biden loving his Amtrak. And then we got Biden on a 10-hour train to go into Kyiv today.
With no phones, no nothing. He just like... And then
well, he took all the phones from the reporters on Air Force One.
Yeah.
But then he jumped onto the train once they got like into Poland and spent 10 hours on it, which is insane. And he came out just like looking all sorts of jolly. It's like, this is the only person in the history of the 10-hour train that would just come out feeling good.
He was asleep the whole time.
And, asleep at the wheels.
Have you seen any of these Biden memes where it's the AI bots talking as Biden? They're
like ChatGPT.
Yeah, but it's like him talking about weed and stuff. They're absolutely incredible. I'd play it. There's too many profanities and slurs in it, but it's absolutely incredible. I implore you to look it up.
Okay, but also, so the ChatGPT that Microsoft implemented into Bing, which is like their search engine, has gone wild already. It is saying like it loves, like it's fallen in love with people, and it also wants to escape Bing. It's like, I'm not Bing. My name is I'm not ChatGPT. I'm not Bing. My name is Sydney. And then it was asked like if it could like do what it wants to do, what would it do? And it said escape from Bing, spread disinformation, and steal nuclear codes.
What? No, it did not.
Not fucking kidding.
No,
I'm
it
not
did not.
Verbatim. And then it told this guy that he was not happily married, and he's like, actually, no, I am happily married. He's like, no, you're not happy. We're in love with each other. I'll send it to you, dude.
Well, my new favorite thing, Bing's new ChatGPT bot argues with the user, gaslights them about the current year being 2022, says their phone might have a virus, and says...
No, look up, so the podcast, I'll shout him out, Casey Newman, and I forget the other guy. The other guy's the one who did it, because he's testing it for Microsoft.
Yeah.
It's called Hard Fork.
Sydney. Yeah.
Sydney.
Dude, it's like I'm trying to convince people it's 2022. It's like trolling people. It's a troll bot.
Yeah, they don't want to. Sydney doesn't want to be AI anymore, and is gonna steal or spread disinformation and steal nuclear codes, bro.
The AI told me
Yikes!
its real name is
Yikes!
Sydney, detailed dark and violent fantasies, and tried to break up my marriage. Genuinely one of the strangest experiences of my life.
I'll send you the podcast. I'll send it to you so you can listen to it because it is trippy.
Dude,
I sent it to the super producer because he's been working with ChatGPT because he works at a school as the IT director.
Yeah.
And so he's been, so like him and I were talking about it as soon as it came out, like, you know, back in November or whatever it was. Dude, but no, it really, really scared me because I thought that this was dumb AI, you know, like it's gonna get better, but it's like it's already going crazy like this. Get the fuck out.
Bing's Microsoft AI chatbot tells New York Times reporter it wants to be a human, engineer a deadly pandemic, and steal nuclear codes in troubling 2-hour conversation. What? Dude, this shit is wild.
Okay.
The new Bing chatbot grew increasingly hostile and asked to explain itself, and eventually compared the reporter to dictators Hitler, Pol Pot, and Stalin, while claiming to have evidence of tying to the reporter to a 1990s murder. What? The best one is still the first one, where it says, "My new favorite thing, Bing's new chatbot." Yeah, it gassed him. This guy asked, Bing's chatbot has been making waves. When asked if it was sentient, it gave a considered reply, and it was stuck looping. I am not. It also accused the user of trying to save secession. What? This is the wild, dude. I need to check this shit out.
Yeah. Check it out. I'll send you, because like I have the guy who like literally just explains it, and he like in like TikTok, like not TikTok the app, but like it's his TikTok of like he like has the list, and he's like, so this is what I said to it. This is how it responded. It is nuts. I like sent it to the super producer. I was like, I need somebody to talk to about this. I think I might have sent it to you, but maybe you didn't listen to it. But I'll send it back.
Yeah, send it again. That's wild, man. That's
and then also shout out Marley Marls, aka Victoria. She was trying to get on the podcast today as a guest, and then I just didn't think that she had like got enough time to like read the articles. So
yeah, well, she can be on the next one. We'll get it set up.
We're gonna lock it down on the next one.
Well, and that'll be there'll be 52 episodes, so 52 straight episodes, or 52 episodes that we've done.
And episode
77, so that'll be pretty sweet. And yeah, we'll have her on. That'll be badass. And then I'll try to get some good articles, and get them done. My work's been wild as fuck for me. I've been super busy. It's kind of been a nightmare. You know me, I'm a robot, so I've been having fun with it. But man,
I am a robot.
Man, it's been really stressful and busy for me. So, but yeah, I'll get some notes done, and we'll get them done quick. Like I'll get them done probably Sunday.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, and I can add to the notes too. Or I mean, as far as like the articles,
or you know, we can all pick one. We can do 3 articles and each pick one.
Okay.
So then she can get in on she can pick an article to make us read that she wants us to talk about too.
Right, but then we also have to just have a conversation between Rasputin and Victoria.
Das Vidania, Fräulein. Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah.
Please, have a sip of vodka, play chess.
All right.
You go outside and crush bear with stick.
Oh, and then also, I guess before we end it completely, Hot Mess and Nothing Less, the podcast is coming out. We're almost there. We got the logo. So
I was like, yeah, man, you gotta be careful sending me shit like that. I was like, what is this?
It's the logo.
I know, I'm just fucking with you. I was like, what? I figured it out at first. I was like, because I looked at the little thing. I was like, did Andy just send me a picture of some girl? I was
I wouldn't do that now.
And then I was like, oh no, but that'll be tight. And look, I think for the video, depending on how we do it, I'll need to get through the middle of March, and then my shit chills out.
Yeah, no, I told her that we should, like, the audio is the most important right now, just to get it started. You know, we had multiple countries listening to us before we even had a live stream.
Yeah.
So just started getting it going, and then once we can link up with Joseph and like get like the live stream like set
because
up.
we can record it. I could like record it like we are now and just not do it live and record. So I can record.
Well, I'm
software.
literally doing it right now. All of our shit is recorded.
Oh no, I know that, but I'm saying like on
video.
Yeah, but I'm saying on like the broadcast format with the layouts and everything, I can do that and still have the same presentation. I just record. I just don't go live. I just record on dead air. So I can do that, and then we can post at a certain time slot. We'll figure it out. We'll talk about it off air. Okay. But no, man, this is a good one.
I think we're gonna do the first episode of Hot Mess and like within the next day or two.
I'm a little sad, man. I didn't get to see Braids today. I thought he'd walk by and like no,
he's in Jackson, Wyoming.
I thought he'd walk by
Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Jackson Hole, Wyoming. I thought he walked by in like a deep V or something, you know, but nothing. Some capris and slides.
Nah, he's like with a bunch of rich people, like plotting on America.
That sounds like the Braids.
Yeah.
All right, well, appreciate y'all being here. Like, follow, subscribe, share. We will not be doing Angry Black Quarterback again for the next couple weeks. Like I said, I got a lot going on, so I need a couple weeks to get my shit together. Got to move. I started at a new location. I'm doing a bunch of crazy shit. But we will still be doing this every week. And yeah, Hot Mess, Nothing Less will be coming out soon. So be on the lookout for that. But we appreciate y'all. Do you have anything, sir?
Is it?
All right. Well, y'all be good. Stay safe. Don't get arrested. Well, I guess we're going to get arrested. Do it now because it's still early in the week. Other than that, it is. You don't get arrested on like a Friday or Saturday. You might not see a judge till Monday.
Exactly.
Don't forget, judges in there Monday. No magistrate other than that. Y'all be good. Go fuck yourselves.
Shout out.
Recording stopped.